Hello, learners. Welcome to Unit 6.2, producing a video, and we are considering Objective 6.2.3, identifying precautions to be taken regarding image, sound, identifying precautions to be taken regarding image, light, and sound. The unit's flowchart presents precautions to be taken. The rule of thirds. The rule of thirds is the division of the image frame into 9 equal cells, separated by imaginary lines placed at horizontal and vertical thirds. These are called first lines, usually dotted red lines, and their intersections are called highlights, the blue dots. The subject or object should be placed on the lines of force or on the points of intersection. The aim is to make the framing more dynamic and alive. The mastery and application of this rule allows for a good framing of the educational video. The position of the subject in the frame is called the composition of the image. The placement of the subject in the frame must be balanced. If objects or even the face of the character need to be highlighted, then the object should be placed on one of the strongest lines in the image. Some devices have features that take this into account. Light and lightning. Without light or lighting, there are no images. Before starting production, make sure you have good lighting at the location. Avoid aiming the light at the subject. So consider aiming them well, if possible, at reflective surfaces. When filming, take into account the backlighting effect. Basic lighting, the triangle. There are 4 sources of light: the main source, the ambient source, the effect source, and the background light. You can create lighting moods by changing the position of the source. Basic lighting. The main source, the subject is highlighted, its shadows softened with a spotlight. Ambient light source, to reduce the effects of backlighting illumination. Semi-black light sources, located behind the main shot on the left or right, behind or above the main shot. The sound. Sound is extremely important in a video, which is why it is important to take all the technical precautions before you start shooting. Whether recording with a camcorder or a smartphone, the sound elements, sound sources, music or voiceover is a very important part of the shoot. The use of a built-in or external microphone will be related to a multitude of parameters. Quality of the recording equipment, indoor or outdoor shooting, ambient noise, natural sources such as wind, or urban sources such as passing cars. The educational dimension. The theory of multimedia learning proposed by psychologist and researcher at the University of California, Richard E. Meyer, advocates 10 fundamental principles for the successful design of multimedia educational resources, such as videos. These principles include the principle of coherence, highlighting, redundancy, spatial congruity, temporal congruity, content segmentation, pre-training, the modality principle, multimedia integration, and customization. This unit provides information on precautions to be taken regarding image, light, sound, and educational dimensions. For image, the rules of thoughts were considered. For light, basic lightings were considered. For sound, sound elements were discussed. While for educational dimension, principles of multimedia learning were discussed. Now that you have completed this segment of instruction, please engage in the following transformative reflection activities. Focus on your assumptions that underline your beliefs, feelings, and actions regarding precautions to be taken regarding image, light, and sound. Examine and assess the consequences of these assumptions on your belief, feelings, and actions in relation to precautions to be taken regarding image, light, and sound. Consider your learning experiences while completing this segment of instruction. Make a critical reflection of how this instruction has enabled you to identify and explore alternative assumptions or reinforced your existing assumptions regarding precautions to be taken as to image, light, and sound. If this reflection has enabled you to consider alternative assumptions, test the validity of these assumptions by participating in a reflective dialogue with a critical friend or by engaging in self-reflection. Endeavor to go through the quiz for self-assessment by circling all the correct questions that apply to each question.